life. Parenting patterns that push children away and how to reverse them. My name is Wendy Ologe. I'm your number one parent coach. Yes, you're welcome, and it's a pleasure and amazing to be here. Are you ready? Are you ready for today's conversation? Just tell me in the comment section and just tell me I'm ready. But before you actually continue to say I'm ready, why not just go to your community, any group you belong to, wherever it is that you are, call someone, tell someone to tell someone to tell someone to be here. While you do that, please kindly watch this video as you invite everybody around you.
What if the key to your child listening is you becoming calm first?
Yelling may feel like the only option, but it's not the most effective one. Imagine correcting your child without screaming, threats, or even guilt, and you are still getting results.
That's what the no yelling challenge is all about.
Over 10,000 parents have broken free from the yelling cycle and discovered peace, connection, and the real change at home.
It is your turn. Join the challenge and transform your parenting for just $6,999, but only if you can register before the 11th of April on Friday. See you there.
Alrighty, that was a good start on this conversation. Did you see that video and the amazing team at the background? Please shout out to my team. You're going to do that now. Yes, you will for me. Thank you so much for joining me and thank you for being here. It is so much a pleasure to be here, right? Somebody said happy to be here. If this is your first time of being at the cathedral, like we like to call it, the Intentional Parent Academy YouTube channel is called The Cathedral. If this is your first time of being at the cathedral, just say hello and we'll welcome you in the name of the Lord, right? So yes, I love this conversation a lot. Now, one of the things that I've heard a lot of parents say is, oh, I don't know what it is that I've done. I've done everything, and yet my children do whatever it is. Oh, my children are not really, connected to me. This parenting thing that we all talk about, it can backfire, and all of the things that we say. Have you ever been there? Let me know in the comment section. Or maybe you even grew up and you saw that there is a whole lot about your whole system, right? See, my banner is not on. There is a whole lot about the whole system, all right? And you're seeing some people are doing well, some people are not doing well. You just say, whatever will be, will be. These things don't really work that way, and all of that. What really went wrong? That's what we're here today to really talk about. What exactly really went wrong? So if you have not been here before, right, just say hello. We will welcome you. Alrighty. So, there are several things that we have learned that actually put your children in the space where they shouldn't be. There are several things that have happened over the years, right, that can actually push your children away. So you love your child, but you could actually say your parenting is pushing them away, but you love them. And that's why I often say that love alone is never enough. So because you can love your child and kill your child just because you don't know what else you should do. Yes, you feel there's an emotional distance you feel with the children, but you love them. As they grow up, they shut down, they talk less, they roll their eyes when you're talking. You wonder, what exactly am I doing wrong? So, the truth is, there are parenting patterns that slowly push your children away, even when your intentions are good. So, and the worst part is that most of us don't even know that we are doing it until the damage is now full blown. But that doesn't have to be your story. You're here today because it's never too late to connect. It's never too late to parent better. It's never too late to heal. Number one pattern that can push your children away. Today, I'm going to just go straight to the point. Is overprotection, shielding, and stifling. The pattern is that in an effort to actually protect, you actually go overboard and prevent your children from experiencing essential life lessons. when you shield a child, the child never becomes. Children feel disrupted. They feel it leads to self-esteem, confidence diminishing. And there's a reluctance to take initiative. See, when you protect without freedom, it becomes a cage, not a shield. When you protect without freedom, it becomes a cage, not a shield. Some of us are so afraid of what will happen to our children that our children do not have a breather around us. We're constantly in the place where we are trying to tell the children how, in quote, they should live and what they should. So you don't want your child to suffer. Where are the gang? The gang of I don't want my children to suffer. Your child can move from one point to another. Oh, lion is going to carry them. There's something we say in the inner circle program. There is no lion anywhere. The only lion that exists is the lion of the tribe of Judah. Trust me, there is no lion anywhere. We are the ones. And then when we're done shielding our children, now there's a pattern that I noticed in recent times. Children go to school and that by age 21, they are done with school. Then our children start to stay at home. Our children begin to stay at home from 21 to 27. They live in your house. You're fighting with them. They're supposed to be adults, yes. But because they don't know the ropes of life, come on, they went to school at 16. Newsflash. That's, oh, my child is in university at 14. You're killing the child. You're not doing anything good for the child. So, all that your bragging point is destruction rather than it's something to solve. I went to school early for your information, so that before you say it's because some of you don't have the opportunity. At 16, I was in university. At 20, I was a graduate. So I am a living witness of what can go wrong. Right? A lot of people come to me and say, oh, but you came out tops of your class. Oh, you were this, that. Do you know what else happens in the midst of all of that? Pushing your children to actually be where they should be. So, of course, you create that factor. And in doing it, because your child is even young, you begin to shield unnecessarily. And in an event of unnecessary shielding, so of course, the child loses the ability to actually be able to do what it is that they should do. You have a 15-year-old and you're running around in town with your 15-year-old. Sometimes I'm actually thinking your 15-year-old cannot go on their own, can't enter public transport, can't go anywhere on their own, cannot decide on their own. It's interesting. Yesterday, our son and his friend and the sister were somewhere. And while we were trying to have a conversation on, oh, okay, are they, let me call, are they, on their way and all of that, we just saw him appear in the house. But what happened? Oh, I didn't find an Uber. I made a decision to do a local transport and I'm here. Can your children make decisions to save their lives? It was getting dark and I couldn't continue to wait. I just climbed a bike, put on a keke, and but you are there. The only thing you can think about is how you don't want your children to suffer. You don't want your children to suffer. But you know the interesting thing. While you're not allowing them suffer, the child is learning, terrible self-esteem. The child can't think. The child can't think. So that's one of the patterns that pushes them away. When the child now grows older, the child is literally upset. Like if they have allowed me, see what builds confidence, right? What builds confidence is actually the things that you do. So confidence is not built in a vacuum, it's built by competence. How do you know that you become competent? It is in the things that you can do. The more doings, the more competent and the more confident. How do you have a child who is 13 and can do nothing at home? How do you have a child who is even 8? The twins have been cooking since they were 5 to 6. Okay, now you're hearing me now, you're wondering, okay, my children are 14. What do I now do, now? Okay, yes, they are now here. Can you now begin instead of just arguing? There was a time that I did a class. That class was called 13 skills your children will need to learn before they turn 13. I did that class during the pandemic. Because I've seen a lot of this. I don't know what it is that my child is supposed to be doing. I don't know how it is that my child is supposed to go and all of that. There are core skills your children need to build. And one of the topmost of it, right, is the ability to think. Most of us cannot think. I was writing an article about I was doing a research about the crashed studio program. What did you call it? People call it again. You know all this program. I will not say the name. I'm sure somebody in the comment section will be able to tell me the name. And I was trying to do a research, and I said, oh, it's because the people that we raise are gullible. So my brother is a financial expert, Coach Kwemeka, the founder of Naira Academy. And he said it's not gullibility that is our problem. The way we raise people, we raise them with greed. And we raise them with inability to actually work hard. It caught my attention. So there's something about that whole system, right, that is not wrong, that is not right. Interesting. So we are now raising people who cannot learn the right skills, including how to think, including skills, simple skills on how to do things that will really take them to where it is that they need to, go to. So we're not raising people. So it boils down to the way we are raising people. It boils down to the way we are raising people. So that whole system crashes. They said somebody had $68,000 in that system. How do you go for fast money at that level? There's a place you get to. You don't play kalo with certain things, right? And then you actually find someone who tells you. How does someone tell you that you're going to get, how do they say it? You get 150,000, and in 1 week that you should just come and register for something. You agree? I can't. Honestly, the thinking process for me. I told you that somebody is going to tell me what it is. He begs, and it just crashed. And people, thousands of Nigerians have their money in it. $1,000, $10,000, $68,000. Like, really? You are actually in that situation. It's because of the way we raise people. There's no other explanation to this thing. So it's not gullibility. It's that we raise people who cannot think. We raise people who want fast processes. We raise people who are overprotected from hard work. Hard work. How do you now build that person who actually have the right kind of pattern? And you say it's investing. Investing in what exactly? Anything that don't have a product or a service. The investment is is multi-level marketing. Abi, what do they call it? Fraudulent marketing. It's not multi-level, forgive me. But it's, as far as I'm concerned, anything that has to rob Peter to pay Paul is the same thing. Do you know when trended, to show you that this thing is an upbringing flaw, when trended, and people were calling people, bringing people in and all of that, I realized we're 5 in my family. And Ponzi scheme, thank you, IBK. I realized that as we were sitting down and having a conversation with all of my siblings, and everybody was asking what's None of my siblings got caught. We've never been caught in a Ponzi scheme. Not one person. Never. How come? See, there is an upbringing flaw that we have in raising children that we have overprotected from the reality of life. From the reality of life. We don't want to do the work. We're not teaching our children to do the work. And one of the things that actually happens is that this can push away the children. They're beyond pushing them away. It's like you raise idiots. We raise people who can't think. And it's so painful. Oh, the recent one is the one that I shared about today. They pretty might carrying girls and boys, whoever, and they dress them in dead bodies, and they say it's entertainment. Somebody says it's entertainment. It's the way we play kalo with people's lives that pains me. And when he said, "Oh, it's entertainment," oh, and those girls, pretty Mike, of course, we know, has a degree in projecting women in a very terrible way. And then some of them are people's children. People's children. How did we get here? How did we get here? You should begin to ask yourself, how are we even getting to the place where bizarre things now do not look bizarre, it looks normal to us? How do you begin to redo this? You need to begin to allow your children to see the world. Stop raising children who are in the world and do not know anything about the world. I usually say to the parents in the inner circle that your bedroom is too small to raise an impact maker. You want to shield your child. My children don't go outside. My children don't go downstairs. They just only stay in my house. You are killing your child. You're not doing anything right. Oh, my children don't interact. They don't even know their neighbors. Oshe, cut off from the world. Do not know anything about the world. You don't know anything about the world. Interesting. Please stop raising children who will get into the world and do not know how to navigate. That's why somebody will go and invest in a thing like Stebex. Like, is that even a thing? That's why somebody will be dressed inside that whole wrap thing like a dead body. Is that even a thing? Is that even a thing? Even if that's the way you have been raised, plug yourself into a community like this and tear up and learn. Protection without freedom is a cage. I've said it before. It's not a shield. It's not a shield. Number 2 reason that parenting patterns that actually push children away is emotional unavailability. Present yet absent. When you're physically present but emotionally disengaged, your children cannot be seen. You disconnect with the children. Of course, the children will need to seek validation elsewhere or even suppress their emotions. When a child's emotions is dismissed, their voice begins to whisper or disappear eventually. Disappear eventually. Somebody is saying, how come we did not hear about Tibet? Oh, I endeavor to hear about many things, of course. But of course, and somebody said, that's because your community changed. If you're not in that community that talk about fast money, you won't hear it. If you're no longer among foolish people, you won't hear foolish things. Trust me. Trust me, you will not. It's just like the algorithm that I talk about on social media. The algorithm often brings to you what it is that you actually watch. So the things that you don't watch, the things that do not, it doesn't come to you. You'll find out that you don't. I would naturally not hear about it if it's among my community. But because I'm always searching for information and reading. So of course, that gets me to actually be able to hear some of those things. Really? So we're talking about emotional unavailability. I've heard quite a number of parents say to me, my parents were there. Do you know that our parents were more present in their time, more than we are? But do you know that there were more emotional disconnection in their time, more than it is in our time? And if you look at the 13 skills I had shared, that every child must learn before they turn 13, is how to be able to emotionally connect. Emotional connection. Emotional connection. So somebody is asking a question, is it really about age? There are children who left home at 18 for university and still not dependent and had to struggle away from home. Age has a lot to do with dependency as much as skills does. But I won't enter into that conversation today because I don't have a lot of time, space to discuss that. Maybe I can talk about it, sometime. Right? So it's very important. So emotional unavailability, right? You're there. Most of us, when you find out that we're there, all right, you find out that what we're doing is that we're just clicking. We're just, you're on your phone. Most times you're on your phone and someone is talking to you. What do you think has happened? What exactly? You are disconnected. And for most of our children, that's what has happened to us. We're completely and totally disconnected. We're completely and totally disconnected. So our children are talking to us, but our children don't really know. We don't know who they are. Most of us don't know our children because there's no connection. So are you there, but you're not there? Ask yourself this question. Are you there, but you're not really there? Or you're just, you know, you're just hanging around. You're just hanging around. This is an important aspect of our journey. And this is something that pushes us away. So our parents were there, very disconnected because they didn't know what else to do. We are there, very disconnected because this thing has taken us away. Some of us actually know what to do, but we are addicted. There's a current addiction we can't get over. So some of us know how to connect with our children, we know what to do and all of that, but you're more addicted to scrolling, checking up new things, talking with friends that you can't see. According to you, they are your friends. Being on the phone with people you cannot connect. You are the people that you need to connect with. Your spouses, your children are there. You're not building connection with them. But some of us have built connection with people who live across the seas of the earth. I say, oh, my best friend lives all the way in China. We're always communicating. We're very close. When she's cooking, I'm talking. When we're very close. But your children that are there living with you, are you always communicating with them? But you're living with them. So you can be physically absent and yet be emotionally connected. See, what happens, the impact of this is that this disconnect will result in your children going everywhere to seek validation. And what happened to us? Let me tell you how the thing played out in our own generation. Most of us ran away from home. If we're really going to be sincere, most of us ran away from home. You didn't want anybody to just come and be in your emotional space. Your parents were emotionally draining you, so you would rather marry whoever. That's why some people ended up marrying, in quotes, foolish people. Both male and females, it goes two ways. Because you just want to quickly get out of the house. No matter how the person, anything but your house looked better than every other thing. So your discerning power was actually cut off, literally. We're doing the same thing with our children. There, but we're not there. We're more connected to people who like our posts, who like somebody sent me one day and say, this is your post, went viral. They're like 2 million, it has 2 million views. I checked the inside, I said, really? I don't know about it. I don't know about it. Because you were busy. I was teaching yesterday at the mastermind that we're running. And I was telling her, you're busy checking another person, saying, oh, I really admire this person. Oh, I really admire how her children are so wonderful. Oh, I love, what are you doing? What exactly are you doing? How about your own children? See, it's easy to get drowned in admiration. As beautiful as admiration is, it can be as terrible as comparison. Two extremes. Two extremes. It can be as terrible as comparison. The same way failure can have the same effect with success. It's the same way comparison and admiration can have the same effect. If you can't control or do not have a grip, if you don't understand the process of doing, we run the Inner Circle program. That's the 1 year annual accountability system that we run in the Parenting Academy, right? You should actually be there. But one of the things that happens that I've seen over the years is that some people live in admiration, some people live in comparison, and some people live in jealousy, envy, comparison, admiration, can have the same effect. Can have the same effect. I wish I have time for me to break this thing down for you psychologically. So you just sit down there, admire everything that you see. Oh, I really like the way that coach teaches. You're admiring me. Oh, I really like the way she knows her onions. And then what? Are you drowning in admiration? You have admired everything about the parenting, the way you said, I admire what they do, but me, I cannot do it. Why? Is it because your children do not deserve a better part of you? Or is it because you are too lazy to actually be able to pick up yourself and run? Some of us is envy. What does she even think she is? Who does she even think she is? Who? All this is a lie. Nobody can parent without yelling. You continue in that place and yet you are stuck. For some of us, it is comparison. When my children were 5 too, they can also do this thing. Wake up. Nobody is comparing with you. We're all on a journey. Nobody has reached their destination. Or have you stopped being a parent? I haven't. My children are still 15. And when they actually turn 18, I change my guard and I become a matriarch. That's my job. So I parent for life. So you want to begin to ask yourself, am I on the seat of envy, the seat of jealousy, the seat of comparison, or the seat of competition? Nobody can see you. Some of us who are on the run cannot even see those things that you're analyzing. That's why analysis paralysis kills you. So that's why you admire until you get crumbled and do nothing. That's why there is a cost for you to register and do something about it. You just admire and just say, I really admire these people who can parent without yelling. But it's not me. Admiration that actually gets you stuck. Oh, I really love these people who talk about this no yelling, but for my child, if you don't shout, they will not listen. Comparison that actually kills you. Comparison that actually kills you. Are you in the place where you are just saying, I beg, all these things that they are saying? Who knows? Are you in their house? Envy that doesn't allow you to move. Any one of them is the same thing. Any one of them is the same thing. So you can see somebody who is making a lot of money. You just say, I really like the way she bring you, and then what? What are you doing? Don't get stuck in admiration or envy or comparison. It can have the same effect. Let's go. Somebody said, I didn't know this particular one. Oh, there's a lot that you learn when you listen and when you get into the inner circle. But I'll leave it here. Of course, this is one of the things that we teach when we talk about toxic humility, right? And we talk about, all of these parts, success and failure when we teach in the inner circle. Number 3, yelling. Yelling is one of the parenting patterns that can push children away. Like, you're constantly in the place where you yell. Children learn to actually shut down. Children learn to shut down. You have gotten to a place where you have told yourself, you even brag about it. And you say, I beg, I'm always yelling. I don't have that time. If you just yell, I don't have time for gentle parenting. Who told you that what we're doing is gentle parenting? Is intentional parenting your mate? You think it's easy. The other day, my son was coming back from work. He's interning in a place, and he got back under the rain at 8 a.m. That young man is 15. You, who is a Ken Will that cannot do it. Should we measure? Should we try? So don't tell me gentle parenting. Gentle what? That because we are not everywhere screaming, everywhere. So, of course, you think that because we need to get our result from jumping up and down and bringing cane and whooping everybody. That's actually not being wise, really, when you think about it. Intentional parenting is not your mate, man. It's not spa. We're not here. We're not teaching you something that is easy. So don't even come here and tell us, oh, easy. You think it's easy to raise a child without you having with your emotions being everywhere? Without you practicing what it is that you have known all your life? with you being able to get restrained, intentional parenting is a big deal. So don't tell me it's easy. What we do is the hard work. And that's why it pays the most. That's why it pays the most. It's hard work. So while you are insisting that, oh, I don't, all these things that I say, oh, I must yell. I don't want to do gentle parenting. Hey, I must kill my children. I must beat them. What results do you have? Should we bring it side by side? Should we do comparison of results? If you are able to think about it for a moment, you begin to realize that the result you have, there's no result. Your children are just being raised like everyday person, which is you and I. Is that really what you want? There's more to this conversation. There's more to it. So let's stop sitting in one corner and saying, after they yelled at us, me too, I yelled. Oh, and all of that. And I turned out okay. So all these things that they're teaching us, please humble yourself and learn. There's a lot of work to do. It's hard work. We're not talking about gentle nothing. You can't even do this and do it. Just hold on. Are you ice cream? You're a leader. If your children even loves you all the time, that's a problem. So please, intentional parenting is a big deal. A very big deal. So the next time you hear about intentional parenting, don't submit all these people. They just want to spoil their children. Do you want us to bring out the children who are raised intentionally and the children who are not, or who are wielded in king? The more you continue to yell, the more you actually continue to breed people who can't really connect with you. I did an experiment recently that I saw online. You can go home and try it. If you try to raise your hand to smack your children and they jitter, it's a whole mess. I went home and I said, let me even try it with my children. And I did like this. And my son held my hand and was rubbing it on his cheek. I did like this. My daughter gave me a high five. When you don't hit a child, they don't expect that anybody who raises hand is going to hit them. And you know what? It gives them a stability that you and I do not have. It gives them a stability that you and I do not have. What it means is that when they're going to make decisions, they make it from thoughtfulness. They don't make it from their emotions. You and I are going to be emotional with a lot of things. Emotional with a lot of things. Apostolifying. I see you. This is very, very important. So it's important for you to actually begin to think, can my children be stable enough? And tomorrow is about the see, what builds your confidence? It's part of the stability. There's a stability that actually puts you and builds that confidence. Yes. But because we're already, when something happens, the first thing you do is to panic. For a child who was raised without being hit or yelled at, the way you are actually, when something happens, there's a calmness that comes. And you can't make right decisions in chaos. I usually say that stillness is the sole reserve for kings. There's a stillness that is required for you to actually be able to build in so many areas of your life. We don't have it. We don't have it. So anytime you yell, you put your children in an anxious state. Anytime you hit a child, there's an anxiety that comes with it. So why do you think most of us make decisions that are not right? Why do you think most of us make decisions in an anxious manner? Why do we get really flipped, agitated in times where there is an issue? Because the people who raised us taught us that agitation, aggression, yelling, hitting is how to get a problem solved. But does it? But does it? So you begin to now understand that you need to raise children who has a form of stability. So while someone is coming to you to come and hit you, right? Let's assume that somebody is coming to your house and somebody is trying to slap you. So the first thing that comes to your head is an agitation that is not required. If you're not used to somebody coming in that manner, the first thing that comes to your head is a stability that comes with thinking. What is this person trying to do? And let me be able to think. Do you know that in that fear, you actually are not able to respond appropriately? That's what happens. You're not able to respond appropriately. So you respond in a lot of anxiousness. But we can build stable people. You know that even as an adult, you yell at an adult. There's an instability, right? That happens around. Now, what happens to children who are raised in that stability is that even when they become an adult, even when they are yelled at, they don't look at it as they have a problem. They look at you as you have a problem. Nobody thinks in a tense environment. Nobody does. But most times you are pushed to think in a tense environment because that's only what you understand. That's the only thing you understand. So you need to actually be able to raise children who are stable. Don't do these things that our parents did to us. Don't do it to your children. Please don't. Your children will struggle through life unnecessarily. Unnecessarily. And it's not worth it. Why do you want to give your children a life they need to recover from after they've lived their life? Come on now. Look at us. Most of us are trying to recover from our childhood. Why? Why? There's a stability you would need to build. There's a stability your children will need to succeed in life. Give them that advantage. Imagine that you are actually at the point where you understand that this thing is the thing. Why not give your children a platform? There's something that I teach the parents in the inner circle. I say that the biggest thing and the highest gift you can give the child is a platform, not money. I look at my children every day and I say, they don't have a childhood they need to recover from. They don't have a yelling problem they need to deal with. They don't have a hand reflex action that needs to hit someone they are bigger than. They only hit in self-defense. Only in self-defense. Imagine having to recover from hitting a person. How do you feel when you hit someone else? Somebody said, oh, sometimes you need to just hit the children. Does it even feel right that you need to hit another person? That's one aspect. I can't even understand yelling. That's one aspect I've not been able to understand. Maybe because I wasn't hit as a child. It just sounds insane to me. Like a human being should be hit so that they can understand they've done something wrong. So recently, I was having a conversation with a parent who told me that, oh, she did something to the children and the children found a way to do it, but it was easier. And then she had left her children at home. Her children, found a way, called a friend. The friend, came to pick them and then they went to where they wanted to go to and then they came back. And she was angry that they found an easy way. Yeah. It's a punishment mentality that we have. So I asked her a question. I say, ma, the essence of this teaching, is it to punish your child or is it for them to learn? She said it's for them to learn. I said, what do you think they did? They were able to learn that they can find their way without you. What is making you angry exactly? Now, most times, what makes you angry is not even that the children, found. You just want the children to suffer and you want to still be in control. They need to be dependent on you. Terrible thing. And that's how we were raised. See, we were raised with the mentality that you need to suffer to be okay. We need to suffer to be okay. And that's why we actually exalt parenting martyrdom. You don't know what I'm going through. I've not slept in 3 days. Another parent will tell you, your old is only 3 days. Me, I've not slept in 2 years. So we do suffering comparison. The person who has suffered more is the person who has the right to come on. So we give our children the mentality that they need to suffer to get anything right. Punishment mentality, not discipline. And that's why, yet, when our children finishes coming out of this suffering to make them learn according to us, we still have the worst indisciplined set of human beings I have seen. Parents. A parent can't finish a 10-page book, a 100-page book, yet they are dragging their child for being indisciplined. So we were people who were raised with no form of discipline. Think about it. Think about it. We were just suffered. So most times we actually hit our children not because we want to correct their anything misbehavior. We just want to prove to them that you own them. You just want to prove to them that you can control them. You just want to prove to them that this, without you, you're nobody. It's a problem. It's a problem. So the reason we yell at our children all the time is to assert some kind of control. What you do not know is that same control you have lost. And we don't even treat our children like human beings. They're not children. Don't shut up. Don't shut up. They are children. Let me go. Please register for No Yelling Challenge. Please, I beg you. And in that No Yelling Challenge for this, we've left it at 6999 till tomorrow. At the No Yelling Challenge, I'm going to teach you the difference between serving your children. But you see this mentality of the child needs to suffer for the child to, I will help you and get you to understand the difference between consequences of an action and then how to actually discipline a child. And what you're doing if you're suffering the child and punishing. Most of what you do is punishment, it's not discipline. You don't have the right tools. And don't listen to me and say to me that, oh, I know what it is that I'm doing. I know it all, which is one of our biggest problems. Because the people who raised us not to be able to take responsibility for our actions. Because when your parents yelled, remember, they told you were the cause. When you yell, remember, you tell your children you are the cause. They are the cause. You've never taken responsibility. You've never taken responsibility for the things that are happening to you. When you hit a child, you blame the child. How do you raise a child? And I'll raise a hand and hit a human being and then blame the other human being. There's something wrong with us. You can't blame the next human being for hitting. And don't tell me there's something like you beat in love. The Bible says you beat in love. Where is it? Who taught us some of these things we put? In love, you hit a human being. Why are you hitting a human being in the first place? There's something wrong with the hand. The hand needs to move. Why do you think somebody needs to suffer to learn? It's a problem. It's a big problem. And it's something we need to tweak in our head. Number 4, overemphasis on achievement. Conditional affection. Conditional affection. There's a conditional linking love and approval and accomplishment. And then you now put it all together. That's another thing that pushes our children away. All right. I have a book called Raising the Trophy Child. Raising the Trophy Child is a book I wrote because I understand this conditional affection. What do I mean? That child who is coming first, there's something about him that you love. You have more affinity to the child who is doing well. You even state, if a child is doing well, would the parent just love him? Oh, shit. I will justify it. You justify all of these things. And then we'll tell our children, oh, I really love my child. I often ask, do you really, really love your children? Let's think about it for a while. Think about it for a while. And of course, there's a fear of failure that comes with it. There's a belief that they are only worthy when they excel. You raise children who are intoxicated with a trophy, who end up not even thriving. Have you ever seen, how many trophy children have you seen who are exceptional in life? Go now and see. Do your research. Do your research. Do your research. You see them, they made first class, they come out, they are just crapping through life. They are not exceptional in life. Being exceptional in school doesn't guarantee exceptionalism in life. By the time I came out, I was a trophy trap. By the time I came out, I had to do an analysis of myself. And I asked myself, what is this thing about this trophy that even makes you extra? You can't win in life. That's when I took my life into my own hands. I said, I'm going to win, man. You can't win in life. Because winning in life is different from winning in academics and in school. Number 5, lack of apology. Missing moments of humility. You avoid apologies that make mistakes. And then you model your children lack of accountability. You are the same thing. You are behaving like your parents. You do something to a child. They tell you to say sorry. You say, why? Am I not the one that has paid school fees? Well done, sir. Well done, ma'am. You don't apologize for anything because why? You are the Alpha, the Omega. Your children begin to also struggle to admit their fault. Your children are also afraid of vulnerability. Why are you afraid of vulnerability? Because your parents actually lacked apology. They never apologized. That's why you're actually in that place where you actually lack accountability. So right now, they are telling you, you need to read a book and finish, you need to be in the academy. You don't have the accountability because there was someone who raised you, who meets moments of teaching you humility. And without humility, you can't be accountable. Without humility, you can't learn. Without humility, you can't move forward in life. There are things that have to happen to you. But we think that, oh, what is it? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. But here we are. Here we are. Number 6. Number 6, projecting personal aspirations when you begin to live through your children. When you begin to live through your children, yes, the government is here. Accountability is an offshoot of humility. Yes. Offshoot of humility. I know that's why we're not having marriages now, where, well, of course, God is a marriage counselor. We're not having marriages now where there's a lot of struggle to admit your fault. Your spouse says this is what you're doing wrong. You say, no, it cannot be me. Have you noticed that we have this self-righteousness thing where we need to project? I've been privileged to, stand in some counseling sessions, with the governor. Governor runs the Marriage Still Academy, he's the marriage counselor. And every time what I hear is one, spouse trying to outdo the next, trying to claim that they are the ones at fault and never else. You are afraid to even admit, that you are actually at fault. Even to your children, you are afraid. Some people told me that, so will I now tell, my children about the bad deeds of my life? May your children not hear about your sins side of you. That's a prayer you should pray. And that's a prayer you should say amen to. May your children not hear about your deeds outside of you. The best thing that can happen to you is that your children hear about the things that have been done wrong from you. That's one of the best things that you can do. We're talking about projecting personal aspiration, living through your children. When you impose personal unfulfilled dream onto your children, you overshadow their individual desires. This is very important. I'm going to move quickly. All right. Anytime achievement-based love teaches children to earn affection, not to earn affection, not receive it. Not receive it. This is very important. Number 7, neglecting self-care. neglecting self-care, modeling burnout. I said something about parenting martyrdom recently. The gang of, I've used everything I've made in life to train my children. Hello, sir. Hello, ma. That's not what parenting is about. My children paid 10 million naira in their school. That's everything I make. I think I sacrificed my life. Nobody asked you to sacrifice your life. The moment you begin to sacrifice your life, then you want to play God. Because it's only Jesus Christ who has been able to sacrifice his life. Why are you sacrificing your life, please? Sacrifice, but not your life. Because you can't pour from an empty place. Why do you think that our mothers and our fathers are still trying to blackmail us emotionally tomorrow? Everything I done for you, I wore rags for your sake. Nobody told you to wear rags. Am I saying you should not sacrifice for your children? I am saying that while your children moves, never look at your children as a paycheck. Parenting has no return on investment in quotes, in monetary values. So your children, they are not your retirement plan. Stop making them one. You will be bitter tomorrow if you make your children your retirement plan and no ROI comes out of it. You begin to feel bad because according to you, you make 10 million naira every month. You actually spend 10 million naira trying to make your children what it is that they are. How about you? Don't come tomorrow to blackmail your children. You are the one that made me not to move forward in life because I shut down everything taking care of you. That's not how it works. Don't be like our parents. That's a parenting pattern that can push your children away. So if you're expecting monetary returns from your children, die that thought today. Die it. Because your children are not your legacy. They are not your retirement plan. You are your own legacy. You are your own retirement plan. You choose. If you make your children your retirement plan, you might not agree with me. Our parents have made the mistake. We'll continue to take care of them. But today, you need to learn to undo. So that I was reading somewhere, and I saw where the video was saying the father came and gave him $300,000. The widow is a billionaire in all ramifications. The Bible says a good father leaveth inheritance for his children and children's children. Stop raising children with the ideology of return on investment. Stop it. Stop it. That's not what God said we should do. So when you now finish, you blackmail your children into all sorts. So when the child is trying to pick up themselves and cannot do certain things, you blackmail them. If it was when I carried you, I suffered for you, now it's my turn. Hello. There's no ROI, a monetary term in parenting. It doesn't exist. Once you have that mentality, you will sacrifice your life, and you have no right to sacrifice your life. You have no right. The moment you begin to sacrifice your life, you want to play God in the life of your children. And no, you don't own them. You are only a caretaker. You have only been given to guide. You are only be given to guide. This is very important. A boundary is not a wall, it's a bridge built with consistency and love. So you are your legacy. Start building your legacy today. Start telling yourself, how is it? Telling yourself in a place where you will tell yourself that, okay, my parents didn't know any better. They built all of us as ROI, return on investment. I trained you. You need to give me back the return. It's like we owe them. See, you need to raise your children in such a way that when they do things for you, it's out of the fact that there's a connection and there's love. Not out of the fact that they are compelled. When a child is compelled to do things, well, I don't even know how sweet it can be. Again, Tomorrow now, you say one coach said we should not go and take care of our parents. Please take care of your parents, but don't make the mistakes of your parents. It's an error. If you return to make the mistakes of the previous generation, we raised people the same way that we are raising people, last, this thing. It's the same thing. We haven't learned anything, and it's painful that we haven't learned anything. I am my own legacy. My children are not my legacy. I'm not raising my children in such a way, and that's why I'm not raising my children without raising myself. While you raise your children, raise yourself. Raise yourself. The problem is that you shut down your life and then you raise a child. And then when that child doesn't do your bidding, you try to play God. You are not God. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. You're not God. You're not God. You're a guide. And if you overstep your boundary, it becomes a problem. It becomes a problem. So all of us are here carrying one parenting burden or the other. And some of us will agree with me that if we are given a better platform, we won't be where we are. But some of us are first of all come out, carry parenting burden, carry this one burden, and then before you even get yourself here, you are 60. How do you begin to build? Please, don't do the same thing to our children. This is a very important aspect of life. Another parenting pattern, which will be the last I will share for today, is a lot, all right, is inconsistent boundaries, unpredictability, unpredictable environment, fluctuating rules and expectation. It creates confusion and insecurity. Children test your limit. Yes, we draw unsure boundaries. Your children don't know who you are. You are too unpredictable. The very first day that I understood the way of predictability matters to children, all right, was when I had dropped our children in school in the morning with a certain kind of hair. And I came later in the day with another kind of hair. My daughter said, Mommy, I don't like this kind of thing. I hate it when you're unpredictable. Children don't like unpredictability. Children don't like it. The truth of the matter is, one of the things that I say to inner circle parents is that the reason a lot of inner circle parents, enjoy this, you enjoy the academy, is the stability it brings, the predictability it brings. That's discipline. You need to be predictable. This, my children don't even know what to do. What I can do, before they can say anything, I will slap them. Our God is a consistent God. He's known for consistency. Whose child are you when you are unpredictable? Ask yourself that question. I'm not the child of a devil. It's only devil that is unpredictable. So how come we got to a point where we start to brag about being unpredictable? How did we get there? How did we get to the point where we actually tell ourselves, my children don't know how we react next? Who are you? A child of God or a child of the devil? Because my God is very predictable. Very predictable. And I can see someone saying, oh, some of us have made some of these mistakes and now I'm over 60. Please, start where you are. The Bible says that there's a hope for the tree that is cut off. It shall spring again. If you commit to it, it's going to change your life internally. Stop setting traps for your children. They are not rats. Stop putting things together to catch them in the place where they are doing something wrong so that you can assert that you are a God unto them. Stop it. It's an element of pride to actually prove to your children that, you can catch them while they do something wrong. Why do you want to catch them? Are you setting trap? You even say, I will set trap for you. What does that mean? Because you have heard these things over and again, and you think that being predictable, is not the right thing. So you become unpredictable. You set traps. You talk anyhow. You just tell yourself, I'm going to deal with it. Let me come back and see you not do this. You just want to just be in a place of chaos everywhere. Chaotic. Set traps. When you set traps for your children, you set them up for failure in life. When you set traps for your children, you set them up for failure in life. Stop setting traps for your children. They are not rats. They are not bushmeat either. Be predictable. Let your children know what they think you will do. Don't brag about your children not knowing what you will do. It's evil. That's not from my God. It's evil. Be predictable. If your children know that you're going to squeeze your face when they do, let them know that that's how you will react. It's so interesting. Our children know, and I'm sure even my staff know that I'm going to react a certain way if certain things happen. I can be highly predictable. Stop being unpredictable. Stop it. And stop setting trap for your children. You will set them up for failure in life. You're not a hunter. Or are you a hunter? You're not a hunter. And that's why you position yourself, you poise yourself for yelling. Stop yelling. That's another key thing that you want to do. This way, I'm going to stop the conversation of the day. But before I go, I will need to talk to you about two things. Joining the no yelling challenge, right? And these are some of the things that you're going to get while you join the no yelling challenge. Can I have this banner off, please, Tim? When you join the no yelling challenge, there are a lot that you are able to actually have in the no yelling challenge that we've never had before. These are all of the things that you'll get in that no yelling challenge. Please register. These details are going to be shared on the inner circle groups and all of the WhatsApp groups so that you also be able to see the tools. We are giving you 14 tools, 14 parts, tools never been created before. We are creating it, right? We are creating it for the first time, and you are getting access to all of it. Join today. Stop waiting and be saying, oh, this parenting, I've done it before. Done it before is not enough. Do you know where we're coming from? We're coming from a lot and a lot. I still see myself do something. I'm like, oh, when is this going to just? You need to pick up yourself and move like we stay in the yard. And yes, drum rolls, we are coming to Owerri. Where are Owerri yarders? We are now coming to Owerri for TIP Summit. Short notice, but we're going to do it. Yes, we will be in Owerri in less than 1 month, actually. We're going to be in Owerri, 11th of May. So tell someone to tell someone to tell someone that the first TIP Summit this year is coming. Life is TIP Summit Old Town. Do you know I was born in Old Town? Born, bred, Old Town Bay. We shut down Old Town on the 11th of May. Tell me about, and you know the interesting thing about TIP Summit Owerri? All the coaches are going to be in Owerri. Yeah. Owerri people are so blessed. You don't even want to know half of it. All right. This is so key. And this is very, very, important. Remember to be there. All right. And then, of course, if you're not in Owerri, share with your family and friends. We'll also share with you. And of course, we're still talking about TIP Summit United States. United States is in June. We're hoping to get all of the documents sorted out for TIP Summit Canada, and working towards that. It's going to be amazing. And trust me, that is something that we've looked forward to. And then don't forget that the books are very important. Read. How do I pay from the US? Oh, all you need to do is just to look at the details and in the description. Oyibo is not your mate. In the description, right? The link is in the description. You can pay, and the link accepts card from anywhere. Don't mind me. This Oyibo that we speak just like that. So, all right. So, of course, we have the books. If you've not gotten my books, you should get them. They're available on Amazon and also available from distributors who are available in the US, the UK, Scotland, Canada. In the recent times, we'll have people from Ireland and some of the places that anywhere in Nigeria as well. So we'll have Connect to Correct. We'll have the discipline. It's not an emergency, right? We'll have the discipline that works. We have this how to love your child more. We have the parenting advantage. We have solving family problems through effective communication. We have resolving sibling rivalry. And then we have the raising series. I love them. The raising series are my my best series, right? We're having about 2 more raising series coming out this year. Raising the trophy child, raising the emotionally skilled child, raising the independent thinking child, raising the girl with sense. This one is trending right now because we have a lot of girls without sense out there. So we're trying to actually get parents to raise girls with sense. And then raising the boy. You do not need to bail out. No bailout. No bailout of no boy. All right. And then, of course, this text. Of course, I have a book From Yelling to Calm. Is my story of how I, moved from yelling to calm. And then the current book that we're reading also, Parenting Launch Plan. And we have the Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro. Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5. And then we have Walking Your Child Through Puberty. Just with a workbook. And then my latest book, if you do not have this book, you're wrong. Like, why now? This is my book, The Kingmaker, Wendy Ologie, My Message, My Methods, and My Miracles. This book was launched on my 40th. I turned 40 on the 10th of March. I love saying it, like I love being 40. Yes, I just love it. My life didn't begin at 40. My life has been there. So no, I'm not part of the gang of life begins at 40. My life has been rolling even before 40. So yes, how I did it, everything, the Kingmaker is you. And yes, do not forget, we're currently onboarding for the Inner Circle program. The Inner Circle program for 2026. Yes, we already started onboarding. Cohort 1A, there's something, Cohort 1A is filling up, all right, already. Yeah, that's understand this statement. But that's a conversation for another day, right? But we already have Cohort 1A all onboarded, all right? When you make full payment of 120,000 for the year, the next academic session starts on the 1st of December. You can't get in now. Please do not ask us to get in now because we will say no. And so that you don't feel bad, we're going to say no. Right? So what you need to do is to register for the next cohort, which starts on the 1st of December. While you're waiting, while you're registered, what you need to do is to enter the No Yelling Challenge, enter the activities that is happening in the academy, use that one and be holding your body until we get to 1st of December. Because what to learn is a lot. This is where I take my leave. This is where I shield my shield. This is where we end the game for today. It's been an amazing time, really, right? And I want to really thank you for being here, right? I want to thank you for always showing up. Remember, that you don't set traps for your children. If you do, you will set them up for failure in life because your children are constantly going to be looking around them for who is setting trap for them. Don't give your children the mentality of perpetual enemies. Don't give them the disadvantage of failure. Give them the advantage of failure. Give them the advantage of enemies because enemies can actually be an advantage, not a disadvantage. Let them be able to be stable in their system to be able to make the right decision. This is a very key aspect, and you can't do that without actually learning how to be calm. Join the No Yelling Challenge today. See you in class. My name is Wendy Ologie, and I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. I'm called Africa's #1 parent coach. Scratch it like it didn't exist. I'm called your world's #1 parent coach. See you again at the cathedral, 2 p.m. next Tuesday. If you're a yarder, see you right in the yard. Thank you and have an amazing day.